Hello, guys. Welcome to Super Juicy Story Time, Super Juicy Tea, and Secret Confessions, and everything else that you're not technically supposed to know, but you're just going to know it anyway by sticking around. On this channel, I actually post confessions, story times, tea that does not even involve you. You can send it to the email, and trust me, these story times are completely anonymous. I try as much as possible to not display or even disclose any personal information, but you can send it and get something off your chest by just sharing out your secret story to my viewers. So without wasting any time today, I have a story. I got it from Reddit. I got it online, and let's get right into it. So the story starts. I've lied to everyone in my life for 20 years that I'm Jewish. Ooh, 20 years. That's a whole 20-year-old. Anyway, I'm not Jewish. I'm not even a little bit. If you ask me questions about Judaism, I cannot tell you. But still, everyone thinks I'm still Jewish. It all started in high school, 11th grade. I had just moved from California to the South, and it was a rough time. I was called every horrible name in the book because I talked different and got the shit beat out of me a couple times. Well, I slowly befriended some of the guys on the football team, and my closest friend was the center. We call him Greg. Now, Greg is a super chill guy compared to everyone around him, but he's still very, very racist and very open about all his opinions. Well, one day I'm driving Greg and a few other football players home from school, and he makes a comment about synagogues. Without even thinking, I mentioned that I've been to one. And this is where it all started. This prompted one of the other guys to joke that I was a Jew. And trying to be chill, since these were the only friends that I had, I went, haha, yep, I'm Jewish. And then that's when it all went downhill. Greg told everyone on the football team how his new friend from California was a Jew. And they all believed it, since most of them thought there were only Jews in California, anyways. And the football players spread that to the rest of the school. At this point, I still thought it was a joke, and everyone was jokingly calling me Jewish. So I kept going with it. Then I became known as the Jewish kid and started to actually become popular since everyone wanted to be friends with a different kid. The fact that my dad had money a lot compared to the poor area I went to school, so I could afford to buy nice things, and people tend to be attracted towards that. And so being Jewish almost became my identity, and it became who I was. So whenever someone would ask my religion, I just automatically told them I was Jewish. Fast forward to the end of high school, and the counselors are walking people through scholarship stuff, and my counselor calls me into his office and hand me a slip of $5,000 Jewish American scholarship. Now, as soon as I read Jewish American scholarship, I was going to walk out and throw it out, but he made me sit down and fill it out with him and took it from me to submit it. I felt horrible for even doing it, but somewhat relieved when I heard that they only gave it to people who are also ethnically Jewish. So I knew I wouldn't get it. I got it. I received a letter in the mail saying I was chosen as the winner of this $5,000 scholarship. I got accepted to Dartmouth due to the fact that I worked my ass off in high school and was the valedictorian. Though my competition wasn't plentiful to say the least, but I never thought I would have been able to afford it. But this scholarship was huge in helping me towards that. I considered spilling everything then, declining the scholarship, telling everyone at my school, telling almost every single form I filled out, saying I'm not actually Jewish. I decided to tell my dad and ask him for the advice, as he's always been the guy you can talk to about anything whatsoever. So I tell him everything. I tell him about the joke, then the lie, then everything, and now the scholarship, which I had not told any of my family because one, I never thought I would get it. Two, they would question why a very not Jewish person is getting a Jewish American scholarship. And as soon as I told my father, he looked me dead in the eyes, with the most serious, disappointed face, and then burst into tears laughing. The way he reacted, it must have been the funniest thing he had ever had in his life. He told me he had gotten the letter in the mail asking if I was ethnically Jewish for a scholarship I had entered. And being the person he is, he just say the chance for college money and went, yep, Jewish. And that was apparently all they needed. So my dad convinced me to keep the money and go to my dream college. And I did. As soon as I arrived at university, I was met with some people from the group that gave me the scholarship, some Jewish American organization funded by the wealthy Israelis. And they told me, enlisted me into all these Jewish clubs. And they got me set up in a synagogue. And everyone there, I would later learn that two of the people there would be my professors who were very, very Jewish. And finally, they told me they would set me up with the whole birthright thing where they fly American Jews out to Israel. I was so shocked. I was at my dream school. Plus, I was being hit with all of this. It was too much. I thought about coming clean a lot of times, but I feel like a lot of people around me would suddenly feel betrayed and leave me. I became good friends with a lot of people in these Jewish clubs. I bonded with my teachers a lot better since they believed I was Jewish. I met the most beautiful Jewish girl who I met through her mother when she came up to me in a cafe, asked if I was Jewish since I was with the local rabbi, and I said yes. And she told me that I would love her daughter. We went on a date and instantly hit it off, and I got a free trip to Israel. Oh my God, this is crazy. All the while, I was dealing with severe depression since I felt horrible every second of every day, in addition to already enormous amount of stress university puts on you. I came so close so many times to just throw myself off of a bridge or a tall building, but I could never bring myself to do so. I managed to get all the way through 11 years of college to get my doctorate. What? Doctorate? Got a job at a history museum back on the West Coast. Married that Jewish girl. Had a Jewish wedding with her entire family. And my two parents, my dad had spilled the beans to my mom. And 2 days later, I told him she also found it equally as funny. We've had 3 little Jewish babies. The museum put me in charge of organizing and creating a huge Holocaust stroke Jewish American history exhibit. Even though that's not my specific field, even in the slightest. And a few months in, when the current curator retires at the age of 96, I will hopefully be taking his place. He has been training me for the job. I've worked there the longest, and I've made sure that I'm damn good at my job. My life has turned out great, but deep down, it will always haunt me that my entire life is built on a lie. My kids' life, my wife's life, all came from a joke in a car 20 years ago. I was never going to tell a soul this, but today my oldest son, he's 9, told me that he doesn't think he believes in a God. And I told him I agreed. It was the first time in 20 years that I told the truth about my religion and did not lie. My son wants to tell his mom that he doesn't want to continue being Jewish, and I might use this as a way of getting it out as well. I told him we would tell her tomorrow at dinner, and he seems almost as excited as I am, but equally as nervous. Wish us luck, I guess. I still am unsure if I should tell her the whole truth or if I should just leave it with that, I am no longer Jewish. Wow. 20 years is a really, really long time to keep that. And now you have a wife, you have 3 kids. People have secrets. When I tell you people have secrets, and I really hope that it went on to be successful, because this is a long lie. But stay tuned for the next video. I'll come out with another confession or a story time or even tea. Thank you for watching the whole video, and if you know the drill, like, share, subscribe, let other people know about the confessions, the secret story times, and the juicy tea that I offer. Bye.